Well, hello there, YouTube. Here we are, August 3rd, 2021. Good old summertime. It's Tuesday, and we just got done mowing the lawn. I haven't posted the last lawn mowings for the last couple weeks, just been busy. But I have been keeping it mowed and fertilized and nice and green. Like I say, we are in the dog days of summer here, 100-degree days up here. I'm keeping her nice and green. All except for where I got this feral cat constantly spraying and urinating right there. I'll take care of that though. But everything else is nice and green, looking real good. So here's the apple tree. This is the one where I lost half the tree during the winter in a real big windstorm. We have some apples on there. They're not too far away from being ready to be picked. And since I sprayed them early off in the season, I don't see any signs of any insect damage to them at all. So I look forward to eating some apples here pretty soon. Over here's the pear tree. And yes, all the branches are drooping because they're super heavy in fruit. And believe it or not, I've already thinned this tree out about 3 times and tossed a lot of little fruit away. And it just keeps producing like crazy. So I think I'm going to leave it alone until I harvest this. These are the Asian pears, as I've said before. I've got a bunch of them on there. I'm not sure what these are. I'm not sure what kind these are, but these are a different type of pear. Of course, it's a grafted tree, so there's 3 different varieties on here. And then here's this variety here, whatever that one's called. Got a bunch of those up there as well. But the ones I'm really interested in are those Asian pears, and probably these ones here. These ones look pretty yummy too. So just tons of pears. Let me back up and show you. I mean, this is just such a good producer. So I figured I'd just let the branches droop until I get my pears. Here's the little peach tree, which I planted last fall, and I knew I wasn't going to get anything off of this tree since it's its first year. But it has definitely grown. It's probably about doubled in size as far as being tall goes. So I'm sure next year it'll come back really strong. Up here we've got all of our big old sunflowers. Those aren't even mammoth sunflowers, and they just grew huge. Those have to be, I mean, 12 feet tall. 12 to 14 feet tall up there. Incredible. I do have one of these that popped up with this real dark, real nice, pretty colored one there. But yeah, those things are huge. Really happy. So I planted this grapevine last fall as well. It's its first year, so I didn't expect any fruit. You usually don't get any fruit or too much growth on the first year. The second and third year are good years. So I'm sure next year this will definitely grow a lot better. But we do have a grape here. This is a red flame grape. Okay, and here's a shot of the lawn from up here at the top of the yard. There's the big old cherry tree that I always show. Boy, that thing's really gotten big too. I keep everything watered really well. Even though I have the sprinklers on, that basically only gives you, like it's top water, surface water. If you really want your roots to grow down deep in your trees, you want to water them. I water them with a hose. I only do it about once a week, maybe once every 2 weeks. Yeah, probably once every 2 weeks. but I just let the hose trickle and just let it run, and that water will soak down, and as the water goes down under the ground, it's going to direct those roots to grow down, because you don't want your roots going up to try to get surface water. And I think that's what really has all this stuff so healthy and growing so well. The same thing with my purple robe locust I planted there. The drip lines I didn't feel were giving it enough water, even though they run for 30 minutes. I just didn't feel it was enough. So I started doing the same thing with that with my hose and just really soaking it, just a trickle and let it soak for, a good 45 minutes. And it has just exploded since I've done that. It's gotten so much taller, and it's even started to bloom again this late in the summer, which they usually don't do. Let me see if there's any left on there if the wind blew it away. Well, anyways, it started to bloom some purple up in here, but we've had a couple pretty windy days, and I guess they've all got blown out of the tree. But you can see, I mean, this tree is only 2.5 years old, and maybe 2.25 years old, and it has just gotten huge. I'm really happy with it. The rest of the yard just like it always is. Got my planters going here. This chocolate mint, it exploded like it always does in the summer, just does great. Over here, I'm really not sure what this is. It's some type of a perennial shrub I planted, so it'll come back every year. But I also put some marigolds in here. These were from seed, I believe, and they've just really done great. And last year I had this whole thing was full of peppers, hot peppers and bell peppers. And the hot peppers reseeded themselves. They were popping up everywhere. So I was thinning them out, and I just left like 3 plants growing here. So you can see they're blooming, starting to produce some peppers. I don't like them, but my son will eat them. So that's doing pretty well there. There's this pot back here. This is doing pretty well. A bunch of wildflowers and stuff in there. This here, I believe this is morning glory or something like that. I think that's what it is. Maybe one of you will know, but I'm pretty sure I put morning glory seeds in there. That's doing really well. Put some I think those are peanut butter, no, sunflower flavored nuggets out for the birds there. Got some sunflowers and wildflowers in these metal buckets here. I planted from seed. They're doing nicely. Of course, I've got this ornamental grass here that's doing really well. Next year I'm going to plant more of this because that seems to do great. I planted this earlier in the year and it's totally taken over great. I really like this. Fills up, looks real nice, and it's real easy. You just, it dies off in the winter, and in early spring you just cut it down, just cut it right down, it'll grow back. Got some more ornamental grasses in here, which I made sure they're all perennial and they're all hardy down to at least -0 or lower, so they'll come back. Another one over here. This here is milkweed. I planted it in hopes to get some monarch butterflies maybe next year. We'll hope for that. It's taken well, the transplanting, and doing great. This here is some type of a perennial shrub I put in there. I didn't expect these marigolds to do as good as they did. These are just doing terrific and have really just exploded in here. Oh, check this out. There's a giant grasshopper in here. Thing is just huge. Boy, if I showed that to... You know what's strange? Every one of these grasshoppers I've seen, and I've seen like half a dozen now, they're all missing a back leg. If I showed that to my cat would make quick work of that. That is a big grasshopper though, or locust, or whatever you call them. I think it's a grasshopper. Then we've got over here sunflowers, smaller type of sunflowers, and this here is some type of perennial I planted this year, and some type of flowers. I put a lot of seeds in here. I'm not sure what's what. Got some gladiolas. Here's a mammoth sunflower here. Another mammoth sunflower there. And more gladiolas there. Some type of I guess a lavender. It looks like a lavender. There's another perennial bush I planted. And my arbor with my climbing roses are just doing great there. Not really blooming too much this time of year, but the you know, just the plant, the foliage on it is just great. And I have to trim this once a week with my hedge trimmers, or it'll close this whole space off. But that's what we got going on back here. I've got to water all this here pretty soon. But a bunch of wildflowers in here. These are all started from seed. These are some type of almost the same as the cat mint I have. They just have different names, but it looks identical, just different colors. More wildflowers. Of course, all my potted plants over here. This here's basil. The wife uses this when she cooks spaghetti, the basil. And I'll tell you what, this does not taste like basil you get from the store. This is excellent. It tastes like 100 times better. This here is some type of mint. It's really getting huge. And then this is the cat mint here. And I've had these pomegranates I got on clearance at Lowe's at the beginning of spring. And I know they won't overwinter here. So I just, you know, put them in these little bigger pots. They were little tiny things when I got them. And I can't believe it. Look at that. I think we might get a pomegranate off of it. Isn't that something? And maybe two. I have to put these in the garage over the winter. Those are chrysanthemums. Usually they come up in the fall. They've been doing great all year. That's pretty crazy. It's about ready to flower. Got some sunflowers and some, what's that one called? Foxglove, some strawberries. I forget what that is. Of course, some more of these ornamental grasses. There's Bird Village there. We got another grapevine over here. And then here's my water plants in here. Those have really exploded, doing great. And the yellow jackets like to come in here and get their water. You can see them in there. And they don't bother me, so I don't bother them. Okay folks, thanks for watching. That's an update on the lawn mowing in the backyard for early August 2021. Y'all be good out there.